What's up, everybody? I'm sure you're all well aware by now that I am a big fan of Burberry. But we actually don't look at that brand's pieces on this channel all that often because I found that it's way easier to find them for really good prices used at resale than new, and we really like to look at stuff with the tags and everything on this channel. But you know what? I've got all sorts of Nova Check stuff, but I don't have any bottoms to go with these Nova Check tops. So I was looking for something to pull a look together, and I got this pair of checkered Nova Check shorts right here. So I'm super psyched to actually finally break down an awesome Burberry piece. So let's dive right in with these. Yo. Before we get too much further, subscribe to the channel. I make tons of luxury and streetwear content. And also, if you're looking for deals on luxury and streetwear, check the description. I've got some of the best sites with all authentic stuff. Check it out. Well, what do we have here? Ooh, I am psyched. You can see right off the bat that these are very wide. They kind of remind me of like a high fashion version of like the cargo shorts I used to wear in like middle school and high school. But it's coming back around now. Apparently I had it right all along and I should have never started wearing skinny jeans. But anyway, enough about my pantaloon history. Let's start off by looking at the retail tags that come with this piece. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited to look at this, because this is one of the new Burberry pieces. This is from a recent collection, and they did change their kind of branding and tags and stuff somewhat recently when Riccardo Tisci came in. So we have some new tags here to look at, and there's a lot to break down. So I'm super psyched to look at this. So this is kind of like a plasticky piece. It kind of feels like a coated cardboard or something. You can see it folds over like that. And it's, kind of like plastic coated or something, but it really is like a brown cardboardy texture. And then debossed there, so the letters go inward into the tag. In black, you've got the Burberry London, England print. That font, it's very simple sans serif. It used to have all these little kind of curls at the end of the R, stuff like that, but they've removed all that for the most part, so it's very straightforward, that logo print now. So new Burberry pieces, their logos should look like this. And when we open this up, the inside of that is still just that coated cardboard, but inside here we have some good tags. So we've got a nice sticker here from Nordstrom. Stuff like that is always a good sign. It shows it came from a legit retailer. Then really interestingly, they have like their trademark information for their patterns, even like the Nova Check that these shorts are. So I've always found that super interesting, and it has some like center justified text about those trademarks here. Then it gets into the good info. So we've got the model name, M. Dan Shorts, and a model number next to it. Maybe that's your model number right there. Anyway, color archive beige and size 48. So it's like Italian sizing, 46 small, 48 medium, and so forth. And we'll definitely be talking about that sizing in a bit. Then we fold this over, and we've got some information in one of the Asian languages. And that continues onto the next tag here, and even at the bottom. And then this actually folds out to even more stuff here. It just keeps going, guys. They have a lot of info for the Japanese or Chinese customers for whatever reason. And even on the back of that, there is more. So really, the only English stuff on there was on this front tag here. The inside of the back of this, totally blank. And when we fold this over, we actually get like an by appointment to the Queen Elizabeth. This is crazy. And the Prince of Wales. So Burberry, very classic like UK brand, and they're just like bringing that heritage in there. It's really clean. Again, this is like debossed. I think it goes into the tag. So there's these crazy like drawings here, which is super cool. And then these go up to this black piece of plastic, which also has that new logo print there. And then that gets looped right through one of these kind of waistbands here. Next, let's take a look at the brand tag that's inside the shorts. Okay, so here's the front of the shorts. And if we turn this in, so we're looking towards the front now. It is, I just had it too. There it is. So it's fairly small. It's like a white woven tag. And you can see it has these kind of like diagonal lines going through it. And then there's like this silver patch at the bottom where again it has that Burberry London, England print sewn in black. Very interesting tag. I've never really seen anything like it. And this is stitched down with white stitches in all four corners there. And you can see that they do fold over the edges to stitch it. And on the inside, it's the inverse colors, but it's just like a little bit kind of stringy, if that makes sense. As you can see, if you follow that up here, we've got like our size tag. These were made in Thailand, which actually is a place where Burberry makes quite a few of their pieces. They're one of these luxury brands that they have factories all over the place. So a lot of luxury brands like a Balenciaga or a Gucci or something, if you see like made in Thailand or made in China, it's like, no, they would never do that. But Burberry, they actually do. So it's not something to really worry about necessarily. And under that, we've got the size, which again says 48, which matches what the retail tag said, always a good sign. Now let's move over to the care tags, which are right over here. So these are like a glossy beige cream color. Probably doesn't show up that well on the camera, but it's not like a pure white or anything. And they are very like plasticky in texture. Right at the top, you have that Burberry print in black once again, made in Thailand, so that info matches the other tag, which is always a good sign. And you can see this stuff is separated by slashes, and it's all in caps. So our main fabrication is cotton, and it is lined in cotton, and polyester rather. And so that's your fabrication. They've just got it in a million languages because Burberry operates like all over the globe. On to the next tag, we get some more stuff in one of the Asian languages, and then a ton of washing symbols. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and there's 4 rows of 6 there. I've like never seen that many in my life. Then it starts getting into the washing instructions. Again, all caps separated by slashes. Those continue on the next tag and then continue in more languages. On the back of that, you get into your trademark information and then the company address and such. And then some more stuff in Asian languages. And that's really what you get here. And then there's actually one more tag down at the bottom that's actually much thinner than the ones above it. And this is the contains non-textile parts of animal origin tag. I'm pretty sure they're legally required to include this. So it's on both sides in English, and then I think the other side, I'm guessing, is French. And you can see that these are sewn down in black from the back there to the underside of this little lip here. So the stitches are nice and hidden, which is great. So now finally we're at the really fun part because we can break down these shorts themselves. And I think we've got to start with that just main fabrication and pattern there. So this is a checkerboard pattern. As you can see, it's very much kind of in style right now, especially Virgil Abloh, both at Off-White and Louis Vuitton, is going crazy with the checkerboard patterns lately. So this is very much like in style right now. Kind of crazy because I remember in high school and middle school I was into ska, so I was all about checkerboards, and back then it was most certainly not as cool as it is now. So as you can see here, we've got black squares, and those are lined in red, which gives it a really nice little pop. And then each square has this kind of cross of the Nova Check pattern, which is obviously super, super recognizable, super iconic, and is like my favorite trademark of the brand. Like, I love the Nova Check. It just speaks to me on a deep level. There's something about it. So it's very much like a cargo style design to these. That's not as apparent at the front, except for the fact that you do get this baby cargo pocket here, right under the side. So it's very small. It's just like a little cigarette pocket, and it's got a button flap here. And I should note that the buttons also have Burberry printed into them, Burberry England. You'll also note while we're here that the stitching is quite clean. You know, it's not the cleanest of all time, but there's definitely no super wonky stitches or anything like that. We do get a zip closure. Thank the Lord. I hate button closures. I always want zip closures. Please, luxury brands, stop making button closures. I just want to be able to zip it open and close. It's way easier. And that is a YKK zipper, which is a super popular like zipper manufacturer for all sorts of brands, but even luxury brands, a lot of them do use YKK, so that's all good there. The last thing I have to say on the front here is that you'll see that they do have some darting here, which kind of cinches it in as you get towards the waist and shapes them a little bit. So you get these little kind of like pleat folds almost going up the thighs there. You do have some traditional pockets at the sides, which are lined in black as we noted. And the back is quite straightforward, but as we mentioned, we get some very cargo style pockets at the back here. So these are much bigger than that baby front pocket, but they are still buttoned kind of flap style back pockets. So perfect size for keeping your wallet, your phone, something like that. So very much appreciated there. And as we get to the bottom here, the hem is quite long. Like that's probably, I'd say, 1.5 inches would be my guess. And that's double layered at the bottom there. And as you see, when I flip it over, it's exactly the same pattern front and back. So you don't get like a weird, sometimes the back sides of things, like the colors are wrong. It's like the inverted, they're a bit more muted, but no, it's the exact same pattern on both sides of this, which I love. And my last note here is that if you look to the inside of this, just a little bit of that kind of luxury care. Going around the inside of the waist, you have this kind of Burberry logo print, like a logo tape going around. So it's in the black, just like a bit of a glossier Burberry right there. So, you know, no one's ever going to see it except for you, but it just makes it feel good knowing that you got some Burberry around your waist, you know? So now that we've checked all those details out, let's try these shorts on to see how they feel and see how they fit. So let's talk about the sizing first, because this is actually the one that was important to me, because I usually wear a size small in bottoms. So I'm usually go for like a 30 waist or a small or a 46, whatever, however they size it, right? But just to get this model that I wanted at the price that I was looking for, all I could get was a medium or a size 48. And it's definitely big on me. This would be much more suited to, you know, a 32-inch waist or so rather than me who's a 30. But at the same time, I think it actually totally works. I knew they were a wide cut anyway, and they do have belt loops, so I'm able to wear a belt with it. I basically just wouldn't be able to wear it without a belt. But another thing, that cut with the darting that goes up the thighs towards the waist, it really already gives it a kind of effect of being cinched up to the waist. So having a belt that's tightening it actually kind of adds to the effect in a way that really works. However, that being said, if you're really looking for true to size, definitely get a 46 for a 30 waist, a 48 for a 32 waist, and so on and so forth. The feel of these is great. It's like a gabardine style cotton, super, super soft. It has a nice thickness to it as well. Like it's not thin in any way, shape, or form. It's not like jersey. It's a solid finished cotton. In the end, these are totally bringing me back to like the early 2000s nu metal days, but just in like a high fashion kind of way, which, you know, it's all coming back around. The jeans are getting straight leg, wide leg, things like that. It's all coming back around. Things are just widening out. So I love that I have a piece like this with the Nova Check on it that's going to go with so many of my tops, and I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of these. So that is what a real pair of Burberry shorts looks like. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.